I'm not overheating yet, which is good. Wearing this in Las Vegas here. I got a scarf, jacket, beanie. I didn't even wear this riding my bike here because I thought I would get overheated.
Oh, really? Damn.
Welcome
all out.
to Fast Talk Podcast, coverage of the Winter Olympics 2026 in Italy. We're here for the freestyle skiing and snowboarding. That's what this video is going to be about today. Something that I take great interest in because it's basically taking the X Games and putting it in the Olympics.
Right.
So I'm big into snowboarding most of my young adult life. I was actually a snowboard teacher for a little while too. I don't know if you knew that, up in Tahoe.
Not until today.
And I am very fond of the snowboarding and freestyle skiing events. So what makes this different from the other skiing that we were talking about? That's basically like racing. This is more like tricks and shit. So there's a bunch of different categories that we filed this one under. So it's like subcategories of a big category. So this one might take a little minute, but stay with us because I know a lot of what I'm talking about in this certain category. So we have moguls, which are the bumps in the snow. Johnny Mosley is the name that comes to mind the most when I think of the bumps. He was a big contributor in that. Ski cross, slope style, aerials, half pipe, and big air are the categories basically that are kind of associated with the freestyle skiing and snowboarding. So it's basically going to run the entire time the Olympics are going from the 5th to the 21st in the Livigno Snow Park, which is, I'm sure, something they've built just for this occasion. I know when I go to a ski resort, I look for the snow park, basically, which is the place that has the jumps and the rails and the half pipe and all of that stuff. So, probably way too many events to get into each one here. So I feel like the ones that people are most interested in is probably the half pipe, the slope style, and the big air. The big air being one big jump, and then you do your trick and you land, and they rate you on how you did.
Yes. On like a 1 to 10.
Yeah. Depending on your trick. I know when I first started watching this, doing a 900 to a 1080 was considered a good trick. Now I believe you got to get up there in like the 5-6 rotation, 1440s and 16 whatevers.
That's insane.
I got to be dizzy when you come down from that.
Right?
Like to be able to land that and stay grounded, it blows my mind. There must be some sort of like mind training that they do, much like the ice skaters who can go up and do a 1440 and not like come down and be like, oh, where am I? Because I feel like if I spun that many times, even just standing on the ground, I would be dizzy.
If I did when I did the dizzy bat race,
yeah,
I didn't know where I was. And I'm like, and that was 7 times on the ground.
Did they make you count?
They counted for me.
You're also like bending over with your head on a, I feel like maybe looking up might be the way to do it.
Looking at the sky as opposed to looking at the ground.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's way too many athletes in all these different categories to really like focus in on one single person. I believe like we were talking about Lindsey Vonn with the alpine skiing. I'd say Chloe Kim is probably the USA athlete to focus on. She's the 2-time defending gold medalist, I believe, in the half pipe. Going forward into her 3rd, trying to defend. 3 straight golds.
So Chloe Kim does the skiing and the snowboarding.
Does she?
I don't know. I have her for snowboarding.
Yeah, snowboarding. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
She does not do the skiing.
Oh, okay.
She just does the snowboarding.
I thought we were in the free.
Well, that's all. I'm encompassing it all into one category.
Okay, gotcha,
So all the snowboarding events fall under those. So you do slope style skiing, slope style snowboarding, slope style or snowboard half pipe, skiing half pipe, all of those. With Shaun White being retired and no one kind of with the dominance that he had, Chloe Kim is probably the closest thing that we have in American. Obviously, the Americans are probably going to be favored in these. The Japanese and Chinese also seem to have up-and-coming athletes, which is pretty cool. It's nice to see, like, parity, right?
Yeah.
Across. A couple of the American guys that I wrote down, Alex Hall is big on the skiing, slopestyle, and big air. Alex Ferreira also for the half pipe. And I like watching both of these. There's different tricks that you can do on skis versus on snowboards. A lot of it involves spinnings and grabs, basically like one grab on this one part of your board is different than a grab on another part of your board, depending on the hand that you use. And basically, they judge you on how many spins you can do going up and down on the half pipe. So fairly new, right? Again, I believe they started doing the snowboarding in like 98, Nagano. I don't think they even had,
around then,
or 02 in Salt Lake. So fairly new. So there's not a lot of history in the snowboarding. Obviously, the X Games kind of was the jump start to get, and they just had the X Games too in Aspen. So maybe these athletes are going from X Games right to Olympics. So they're warmed up, which is kind of cool. One competition to the next competition. The X Games are always in Aspen, Colorado. So got to get from Colorado to Italy and do these. I mentioned Shaun White earlier. He will be on the call, which is good because we were talking about a lot of the times NBC doesn't have an expert in said field. We were mentioning Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir. We like them because they know what they're talking about with the ice skating. Shaun White will definitely know what he's talking about whilst commenting on the snowboarding. So that's something to look forward to. I don't know what you got in here.
I mean, you mentioned all the same names and notes that I have. The only things I had was specifically Scotty James and from Austria and Aaron. I can't read my notes here.
You need glasses?
Aaron from Italy. Aaron from Italy.
Aaron from Italy. Keep him in mind.
Pretty solid contenders. And Nick Baumgardner, did you have him from Team USA as well?
Is that Madison's son?
No.
You sure?
Yes. Because it's spelled differently.
Oh, Baum?
Yes, it's Baum.
You never know. Could add the U to be different.
It's another Maddie to put in the Maddie Stick Together group, though. But yeah, that's what I have. I think it should be another one where USA tends to take control and win.
This is going to be, going through these sports and looking at all of them, I had a number in my head, and it's like the number of events was like triple what I thought it was because we had so many categories, so many different things, and how they cram all this into, was it 2-week period?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
The logistics behind that are just like impressive.
And summer has like 15 more events. Summer's insane.
So I am personally excited for this category. This is definitely something that I'll be watching with great intent and anticipation, almost as much as the hockey. But other than that, I hope we covered enough of the snowboarding and freestyle skiing for your liking. Let us know in the comments who you think will do well, if there's someone we forgot to mention. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming to Fast Talk Podcast coverage of the Winter Olympics 2026. Go USA.
Go USA.
All right.
America.